and I represent Gramya. I co-founded Gramya with Bhavesh, who is right now in IC. But so what Gramya does is we work towards improving livelihoods in the villages of Kerala. So when we started working, so livelihoods in Kerala was something that many people thought was not required to work on livelihoods in Kerala. But I come from Idukki district of Kerala, which is a backward district, like not as backward as Wayanad, but backward district, one of the backward districts of Kerala. And I come from a like agriculture family, so I can understand what are the situations which are really there. And I've seen situations where, so my own parents have, like they are into tea business right now, but then like initial days when they planted the tea plants and there was expectations that you will have a good return. But at the end of the day, when it's time to sell, it's always either your product is not required, nobody wants to buy the raw material from you, or you're not like paid enough for the efforts that is there. Also, my like family lives very close to Munnar and Tekadi. So we live in between Munnar and Tekadi, and this is also where the tourism bit came in. Initially during, so I am an India fellow, and in 2015-16 when I was doing the fellowship, I had exposure to a lot of livelihood issues. Even though I worked in education, I had a lot of exposure to livelihood issues in other parts of Kerala, but not like other parts of India, but not in Kerala. So when I decided towards the end of the fellowship is when we decided to work on improving livelihoods, and then I thought, why not start with my own like district. And the tourism bit came in because throughout my life I've seen tourists staying in resorts, and like the resorts are mostly run by people who are not natives, and there are people who are from outside who earn from it. And the idea of why can't the local community earn came from there, like why not? That is how Gramya started working in community-based rural tourism. And specifically the idea of community-based rural tourism came from Grassroots Journeys Private Limited. So Grassroots has acted as our platform to learn community-based rural tourism, and they are still associated. I think the basic idea of Gramya is right now we have been working for 2 years, and like with the help of many other organizations and also the influence of ICEED, I must say. So when you're working in livelihoods, I feel that there is a commitment towards the community that you're working in. Or I am a very much operations person, so maybe that is also a reason why I feel like there is a need to give back to the community who has actually given you their time, and they have listened to you for some time. So that is when we decided community-based rural tourism or tourism alone may not be the only way of working towards improving the livelihoods. So we decided to look at what are the resources which are available in the village, and work towards improving what is already there. So most of the communities that we see in Kerala are agriculture based, and so we decided to work with them on the products as well. And this is the result of that. So we've just started working with them, and there are some more products which are behind you, so you can look at it. So this is part of trying to brand Grammy. So it's not necessary that you have to brand something out. Yeah, okay. So why we started branding is also, so obviously there are advice that came from our mentors and ICEED, but why we started branding is initially it was all about aggregating and let's sell it through another NGO or some other organization which is working. So when we started like exploring the possibilities, what we realized was there was like one organization which went to the extent of saying that like on paper they work with farmers and procures their spices and all that, but at the end of it, when we really had a serious conversation on can you also work with our farmers, so it went to this extent of like one of them telling me that all the risk is only to the farmer, so we do only the business part and we take the commission. So it doesn't matter what is, like there's no community connect, or I felt like there is no responsibility towards the farmers that you're working with, or there is no emotional connect. So which is when we decided we should also start branding our own products and try to give a better price to the villages. We do not know what will come out of it, but as of now we are present in the Delhi Organic Farmers Market on every Sunday. That is one place where we are selling now. We are trying to get into the other retail shops as well. Okay. So this is right now, this is what we offer. We work in two villages, which is Makkuvalli and Palar. Palar, not too much work related to community-based tourism, but yeah, so we offer rural trips in Makkuvalli, which is a forest village. In Palar we offer the tea trips, because so my parents run a tea factory, which is again, it's called Palar Tea, and so they are promoters of zero budget natural farming, and the tea is also produced through like zero budget natural farming. So we have our own garden and the processing unit. So basically the tea trips came from there. That is more on the product side. We do not brand tea, but the tea particularly, we thought it is a promotion of zero budget natural farming, and which is something that we want to do in the other villages that we work in as well. So then we have the products. Only the picture of pepper is there because this was a harvest season and it's a recent picture. And so this is, so our journey is basically from like, so we were India Fellows, Bhavesh and we were India Fellows, where you had like the basic exposure to development sector and what is it and the possibilities. And then later it was grassroots, and then we went on to like iSeed. So it started with BMSE, and there were so many other factors which affected Gramya's work, which was some things that were not expected, right? So we had Kerala floods 2018. So when we just started working, there were floods. And after that in 2019, the same thing repeated, almost similar situation. And then this year, obviously, you have the corona virus effect. So there were issues which like affected, especially the tourism bit. So that may be also one of the reasons why we started thinking of engaging with the community in other ways. So we have been associated with iSeed for quite some time now, but there's a project that we are doing right now, introducing so this is a pepper thresher that we have, like with the help of iSeed, we have installed in the village, the forest village. Pepper is one of their major product, and like threshing was a manual thing which was generally done. And so this is the pepper thresher. This year, some people have started using the thresher. I think it has helped them a bit, hopefully. Okay. So there are many, like how we say ecosystem is very important. So we have other organizations also which has helped us a lot through. So iSeed, obviously iSeed has helped us in multiple ways. And so then we have, so Palar Tea, I put Palar Tea also, grassroots, obviously we learned the tourism bit from there. And Palar Tea, because after working in other parts of India and returning to Kerala, there are like challenges of we do not know many people locally, many organizations locally, but Palar Tea is one place where we have also like they are the ones who have connected us to some of the like networks there, and obviously India Fellow for the start. I think so now like when we go forward, we want to try and look at so maybe if we start to go to another village, maybe we'll start with looking at what are the resources which are already available, like start working on them, like improve the income or improve the product assets by value addition and things like that. And also community-based tourism. We do not want to leave out the community-based tourism part. So I don't know, it may be just an experience from one village. Because with community-based tourism, I've realized that when we started working with the village, that has helped us to reach to that collective action. So people were working together already, and the other things were much easier later. That's it.
How are you planning to scale it up? Because at the moment I see one village or two villages.
Yeah.
So that scale is not, I think, adequate to make it a profitable venture. Yeah, so unless you scale it up, and for example, are you on Amazon, or are you selling your products online, or do you have that quantum
Yeah,
to
so
go to those scales?
yeah, we can do that. So we can do that, but as of now, we've not done it. So we've just started with the branding exercise. So we tried our, like it was, the Delhi Organic Farmers Market was a test to see what is the reaction of the customers. Otherwise, we can look at those possibilities of e-commerce and other things. With the tea, we are doing it. So it's like some things are experimental, but we've not done anything much with the other products of the village.
Can you speak a little bit more about the governance systems and how, because there are two parallel things. There is one, the tourism aspects, and the other is the farm produce being sold. So how both of these things are being taken care of?
So we started, especially with the forest village, which is more functional right now. So I would talk about that. So when we started working there, we were introduced to that village by the panchayat of that region. So when we were introduced there, the village community was called and asked, like, if you really want to be working with them. But at the end of it, they already had a, I think, like how grassroots work, there is a village tourism committee which is formed of the villagers, and then it is taken forward.
Can you explain more about your One Selection Samiti's role?
Yeah, so
Because
that,
the institution was already there.
yeah, so there was an institution already. It was called the, so there was this community, it was by the forest department, and it's called Vanasamrakshana Samiti. So we started, so this was something that came from the villagers. The first time when we reached there also, they told us that we will work as Vanasamrakshana Samiti, because that was very active. And I think the tourism bit was something that they already had in mind. So when you see the plans of Vanasamrakshana Samiti, that is something that we realized. That they were looking at eco-tourism, which the forest department was not very happy about. So we ended up doing the rural part of it, not too much into getting into the forest and other things. So Vanasamrakshana Samiti is that body which decides a lot of things in that particular village. So when it came to procurement or installing the pepper thresher, all of that went through the Vanasamrakshana Samiti. They had a meeting, they have an executive committee which also has a person from the forest department. So the decisions are generally made, like we are also present, but mostly by the villagers itself through the Vanasamrakshana Samiti.
Even for the farm products.
Even for the farm products. Yeah. So even the other village, when you say Palar, obviously there is Palar tea and I stay there and all that. But when we looked at working, we did something to do with vegetable value chain. There was a Palar Farmers Club. It was a farmer interest group. So they were the ones who started working with us. But then it took some time. What are the constraints? Yeah, so the main challenge as of now is basically we have not been able to work continuously any year because of either floods or maybe, so this year we have the coronavirus effect. So something or the other has happened from when we started working in with Gramya in full time in Kerala. So we've never been able to like continuously work or engage with the community. So whenever possible, we are there in the village itself. Like half a month in one village and the other month in the other one. So that is a major constraint as of now. And obviously with tourism, there is a constraint in the marketing space also, because it's community-based tourism and the expectations, and maybe we also have to find out which are the correct customers that we want. Yeah, so.
So, in terms of challenges, I like to add, obviously one challenge is what I call as act of God. We have been like severely affected by it from like ever since we started. So that's one. The second challenge which she has been facing is it's very difficult to work with when there are various stakeholders like forest department and even the VSS sometimes. So we have been trying to have a general body meeting, I think, from like last 1.5 years, which has not yet happened. And so when we started working in that village, the first condition which community put in front of us was that we want to do everything in sync with the forest department. And they said, unless they give a go to it, we will not work with you. And we said, fine. We went and had multiple interaction with the forest department. Misha can tell you better how it is to work with governments, but people generally change. The DFO changed, somebody else changed, and all the work we have put in to build the rapport is gone. So it reached to that level where the community said, now it doesn't matter what the forest department says, let's just start working. So it has reached to that level. So that has been one of the biggest challenge that when we want to work with the institutions, through the institutional way, I mean, it's very difficult to bring everyone together, and we are still struggling for it. Apart from it, I think one of the challenge which we had was where we started, we had the lack of resources was one of our biggest challenge. Because of which I think we were not able to experiment that much as what a startup should generally do in the beginning. Thanks to the support of iSeed, we have now reached that phase where we have done some experiments, are in position to do more experiments to explore more pathways. Some of the things which we are going to take forward in collaboration with Rukart as well, we are planning to have the vegetable cooler. We are also trying some other things with the spices as well. So this is something which I think we lacked earlier. That support, if that would have been with us earlier, we would have done more experiments, though we would have failed, but we would have learnt a lot. So that is something I think which was a challenge which as of now is kind of taken care of by iSeed. And one of the things which iSeed has done to Gramya is that it has helped keep the idea alive. 2.5 years, nothing much happening. I think most of the people would give up or change the idea. We knew there was a potential. We still know there is a potential. But due to act of God or whatever reasons, that idea could not reach its potential and it's still kind of blooming. So iSeed has helped through its mentoring, support, networking, and through this has helped us keep the idea alive. That is the biggest contribution of iSeed. Apart from other things which they have done, I think this is the biggest contribution which iSeed has done to Gramya.
I just want to know who are the people who, who are your customers and how do you reach them?
Yeah, so it's kind of, so when we started, we had a lot of assumptions. So we said that the foreign tourists are the ones who are our customers. So we have to reach out to them probably in UK or London or some other places, maybe in Australia, we don't know. So initially we started kind of thinking in how do we reach out to them. After a while we realized that we don't need to target them. The tourists are already in Kerala. It's not like a place, let's say if Grassroots is working in Purushwadi, they need to put in a lot of effort to bring a tourist to Purushwadi. Our efforts need not be that. Our efforts are tourists are there in the resorts around our villages. We need to find a way to bring them from resorts to our villages. So anybody who is coming to Kerala can be our customers. We are looking for people who are looking for experiences rather than having, what should I say, not more on the facilities part, but more on the experiences part. That is the kind of tourists we are looking at. Over that period of time, we have realized that we have had food trips, which we had not planned that we'll do very early. Recently, she hosted a foreign tourist. She's a chef actually. So she hosted her for 3 days, and I think we are looking to have more collaborations with her. So it's more of an evolving. We are also learning who can be our customers. So it's more on the experiment phase. But I think anybody who is interested in, who is not aware of the lifestyle in Kerala and want to learn about it, can be the customer. It can be students. There are a lot of students who, inspired by her or with the kind of work her father is doing, they come and say that we also want to learn entrepreneurship from you, or how you are approaching it, at least learn how you are doing it. So they are also one of the customers. So the resorts which are there, they are our customers, who are the nearby resorts, they are our customers. With the kind of new markets we are getting into, the spices and all, anybody who is into conscious lifestyle or eating can be our customer. So we are still exploring that.